Namaste, hello and welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to paint a bright leaf with autumn colors. It's a loose watercolor doodle, so I'm keeping it very simple and easy. I start with a light sketch of a leaf. Maple leaves with fall colors are my favorite. We don't have maple trees in India, but the chinar trees found in Kashmir are close enough, or at least I think so. You can take this leaf as a reference or practice today's tutorial with your own leaf drawings. Pinterest is my go-to place for inspiration and reference, so maybe you want to check that as well. I will glaze the surface of paper with water before we work with the colors, because we are going to color the autumn leaf using a wet on wet watercolor technique. A wet on wet watercolor technique is a simple technique and the results are beautiful. I absolutely enjoy watching the colors disperse on the glazed paper surface. Now once I have nicely and evenly glazed the leaf outline, I'm taking some orange color directly off the watercolor cakes. I'm not mixing or muting the colors today. I'll be using them as it is. You can of course brighten or lighten or mute the colors depending on how you want your autumn leaves to look like. I think I want this leaf to have some nice bright orange and reds and maybe some yellow color. You can just have a look at the autumn leaves and select your color palette, how you want your leaf to look like. So I'm just lightly touching the tip of my paintbrush on the edges of this leaf sketch, and you can see how beautifully the color from the paintbrush is getting dispersed on the paper. There's a tiny puddle of water here, but we'll come back to that later. For now, I'm just going to add some red color, again directly off the watercolor cakes. I will adjust the color by adding more pigments or water depending on the area that I'm covering. But essentially I will just dab around with the loaded paintbrush, leaving some areas light, darkening the others, so it doesn't look too flat and we can have some kind of texture and depth to this leaf doodle. Coming back to the puddle, I'm going to dab off that pooling water with a towel, a cloth towel. A paper towel or tissue paper works just fine as well, but I prefer a cloth towel in such situations because tissue paper is too absorbent and may make it all too dry. And since I'm not using a watercolor paper today, I don't want to keep re-wetting the surface too often. I will add some yellow and touch up with more orange and red till I'm satisfied with the look of the leaf. I will add some brown spots to the leaf while the doodle is still wet, so the spots disperse and look light and soft. The color looks light and soft. Next, I will paint the petiole of the leaf with the brown color. I always have trouble painting thin strokes with watercolors, and it's also because of this paintbrush. It's not the correct size, it's not the right size. It's really important to use the right size of brush to get the desired results. I paint to relax, so I don't pay much attention on the material I'm using, but you may want to do so to enjoy the actual watercolor painting process. I also used a hair dryer to dry the paint in between painting the layers because I had little time to finish it and I didn't want it to wait for it to dry and then come back to it again later. Normally, I let it air dry if I have time. Since I'm not great with painting thin strokes and also because I don't have a detailing brush, I used a brown watercolor pencil for finer details like the rib and the veins of the leaf. I will add some blue background to this doodle because it's looking too plain and white. I forgot to record the next part where I just splattered some brown color while the blue background was still wet. And this is the final look of my autumn leaf doodle. Would you like to give it a try? If you're still here, thank you for watching. And please do consider subscribing to the channel to stay connected. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.